Good morning. This is KELOLAND On The Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have your boredom busters coming up, but first, our top story. South Dakota lawmakers appear to be poised to conduct a summer study of the struggles facing the child care industry in the state. Sioux Falls in-home provider Cynthia McConnell welcomes the idea of a legislative study. She says providers like her are facing rising costs that they don't want to have to pass on to the families who use their services. She hopes lawmakers can also address the scarcity of providers.
We have families that come to us like the minute they find out they're having a baby. They haven't even told their mom and grandma and grandpa yet, but they come to us and say, hey, we need childcare, when can we get on your list?
McConnell, like other providers, has a backlog of customers on her waiting list. She says lawmakers need to take their time in addressing many of the daycare struggles that have only worsened since the start of the pandemic. A bill to set up a board to review purchases of agricultural land by foreign people or entities will be heard on the state Senate floor next week. Supporters say the measure will strengthen national security, but opponents say it's unnecessary.
It seems to me that it's a very cumbersome process that they're setting up, and it creates a whole new layer of bureaucracy, really, to try to, accomplish what we already can do.
This is something that's going to be a future problem, and I believe it to be a current problem, and I believe it to be very, very important and something that we need to work on as a legislature.
According to the USDA, roughly 1% of private ag land in South Dakota is owned by foreigners, with Canada, the UK, and Germany making up the largest shares of ownership. Governor Kristi Noem specifically mentioned China, a country she claims hates Americans, as a nation that the bill would prevent from buying land. Tobin says the legislation will be on the Senate floor on Tuesday. The man who claimed to have a bomb during a Sioux Falls bank robbery last summer plans to enter a guilty plea next month. 23-year-old Ayub Muhammad signed court documents admitting to taking $200,000 from the Wells Fargo Bank on North Cliff Avenue last August. According to court papers, bank tellers say they could see Muhammad holding a portable radio device and had his fingers near or on one of the buttons of the radio. Police responded immediately and arrested Muhammad in the parking lot. No bomb was ever found. Muhammad is scheduled to plead guilty in federal court on March 1st. According to the plea agreement, he faces a maximum of 25 years behind bars. A 59-year-old man from Platte, South Dakota is out on bond after authorities say they found more than a pound of meth in his pickup. Authorities arrested James Hand Jr. on February 10th. State and local authorities searched his home and his truck. In addition to meth, authorities say they also found a scale and baggies along with several pipes and bongs with meth residue. He's currently out on $10,000 bond. Let's take a first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Adam Rutt in the Storm Center. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Perry, and good morning, everybody. We're off to a great start to the day out there. Some cloud cover building in, but beyond that, it's not all that bad out there. Lake Madison, an example of what I'm talking about. Some high-level cloud cover, but that's just about it. 16 along the frozen waters with a south wind at 3 miles per hour. And from there, we'll head downtown. Some low-hanging fog out in the distance. Beyond that, not bad. 14, and an honest 14 at that, with no real wind to speak of at the airport. 12 in Brookings, 13 in Watertown, still holding at 9 degrees in Aberdeen this morning. 19, though, in Ortonville and Marshall. Worthington and Yankton at 17, along with Valentine. 15 in Phillip, 21 at the Capitol, and in Rapid City. Winds aren't all that big of an issue now and for much of the weekend. It also won't be too much of an issue. By the middle of the week, that along with addressing the elephant in the room, that being our potential for a winter storm by the middle of the week, will be something that we watch very carefully. We'll have details on that and the rest of your forecast coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. Well, the 11th annual Downtown Gives program saw 32 businesses in Sioux Falls sell more than 400 coupon books during the holidays. The program raised nearly $6,500 for the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The organization will use the dollars to support Artist Micro Grant program, which got its start last year and has already received nearly 300 applications.
Maybe it's a capacity building thing for that artist, or maybe they're doing a community project that involves more people or at-risk youth. We've just seen this program flourish, so we're excited to see the applications come through every year, but we're also excited to grow the program and find different ways to support artists in what they're doing.
If you'd like to apply for an Artist Micro Grant, which range from $250 to $500. We provided a link under this story here at KELOLAND.com. You're invited to walk with the larger-than-life dinosaur herd as Jurassic Quest roars through Sioux Falls. There will be an animatronic dinosaurs on display, including a T-Rex at the WH Lyon Fairgrounds from 9 to 8 today and Sunday. Monday's hours are 9 to 4. There will also be hands-on activities, including excavating fossils. Tickets are $22. Children under 2 are free. The Lennox Sunstrom FFA is hosting a pancake feed until 11:30 a.m. in the Lennox Intermediate School cafetorium. To-go servings are also available. Admission is free. Donations will be accepted, with proceeds going to Olivia Newell and the Entringer family. Sanaz 8th Street Gourmet in Sioux Falls is hosting a fundraising luncheon to help victims of the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. 100% of the proceeds will go to World Central Kitchens and American Syrian Medical Association. The serving time is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch is on School Bus Inc. if you stop by their Sioux Falls office for an on-the-spot job interview from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're looking to hire school bus drivers, motor coach drivers, and bus monitors. Your interview with a recruiter will include a free lunch. Colors of Freedom is an art show to benefit Call to Freedom, a nonprofit that provides support services for victims of human trafficking and sexual exploitation. It's taking place from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Falls Overlook Cafe in Sioux Falls. The event also includes a raffle of artwork plus collecting gift cards for survivors. Adam?
Well, much of your day is going to feature a good amount of sunshine, especially the further north you go, but near and south of I-90, at least to kick things off, already seeing some cloud cover building in. We saw that on our Lake Madison camera. Also, if you were to look at, say, Yankton, Harrisburg, Platte, and among others, you'll see that cloud cover building in more and more. Compare that to the north, where we have been pretty quiet. Now, in fact, much of the weekend is also pretty quiet. We may see some snow showers develop on Sunday, and then again on Monday, but a little, if any, accumulation is expected. You know, it's not a whole lot of moisture to work with either of those 2 days, Sunday or Monday. Tuesday is when things change, however. We start to get that moisture flow to come up from the Gulf of Mexico. Some snow possible up to the northeast on Tuesday, but the main event is going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday night, and Thursday, with an upper level trough really digging down, getting that flow from the Gulf of Mexico to really open up. We get a lot of moisture in place, a lot of cold air coming in on the backside of that low, and the end result is the potential for some moderate to heavy snow for the middle of the week. Notice those deep shades of blue, basically covering the entirety of KELOLAND through Thursday morning into the early afternoon. By Friday, this gets out of here. May even get a sneaky chance for a little bit of snow Friday night into Saturday, but that's still a little bit, no pun intended, up in the air. But the main concern is going to be that snow for the middle of the week, not to mention the wind. It's not going to be all that breezy through Sunday. Monday, we get a little gusty, especially West River, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday, we really start to pick up that wind with gusts approaching 40 to at times 50 miles per hour, especially East River. Now, this is the potential for at least 3 inches of snow into Thursday night. You know, it's just about everybody with that high chance for at least 3 inches, but if we double that, then we have that high opportunity toward the Buffalo Ridge, Marshall, Brookings, up at the Watertown, Huron, and Mitchell, even right along I-90 in Sioux Falls and Worthington. A moderate opportunity for at least 6 inches in Orange, Sisseton, Aberdeen, De Pere, Phillip, and toward Yankton. Then a low chance in yellow along the North Dakota border, and then south of Yankton and Valentine. Take-home message, though, is pretty simple on this one. Keep an eye out for updates as we head through the weekend, as the signals are there for a potentially disruptive midweek winter storm. For what it's worth, we're also watching a lot of cold air come in, especially as we head toward the end of the week and into next weekend as well. Highs today in the 30s to the east, 40s and low 50s out west. Some patchy fog will be possible tonight, East River especially, with lows in the teens, 20s though out to the west. Your 7-day forecast is mainly quiet through Monday. Then we have that midweek outlook that's going to get potentially rather snowy and windy for Sioux Falls and Aberdeen. In fact, really the entirety of KELOLAND will want to watch that midweek outlook very carefully. So what we get today through Monday, enjoy it if you can, with temperatures above average by day and by night, as we are going to get a pretty sharp reminder across the region that winter is not done with us by a long shot. Have a great day, everybody. For more on your local news, weather, and sports, you can always head on over to KELOLAND.com.